Hi, my name is Anna, and I'm going to be talking about lisps, the potential causes of them, very briefly, the research that has been done, and how to potentially and hopefully correct them. So most lisps are part of normal development. As children are learning how to speak, they want to speak fluently and efficiently, but sometimes their tongues may be positioned in the wrong spot. So S, Z, and R sounds are the most common. Even though parents think it's cute, children may not hear it, and something probably should be done, especially if it's hindering their speech and their in order for people to understand them as well. There are 4 different types of lisps. The frontal lisp is the most common, where the S sounds like the th sound, the TH sound, and the lateral lisp, excuse me, it's not part of the normal development. I want to say that it closely resembles Sid the Sloth from Ice Age and how he talks. Speech is a learned skill. It takes practice, and according to B.F. Skinner, he theorized that language arises from stimulus and then reinforcement, which I will get to in a little while. So there are, I say, potential causes of lisps because there are no known causes. The reason why people think and researchers have thought that lisps have arrived, these are more recent, are mispronouncing words while they're learning to talk or read. The phonetics, just meaning that the tongue is being thrust through the teeth, and then the next one down is the thrusting of the tongue. So an example would be thumb sucking. Other potential causes would be hearing limitations, developmental delays, or children imitating others or wanting attention. So they might alter how they talk. So when we talk about who it affects, in the United States, 10% of adults and children have a functional speech disorder. When I say functional, it means that there is no known cause. And 5% of first grade students have a lisp or other speech disorder. And then 50 to 70% of children with speech disorders have trouble in school. The most prevalent ages are children 2 to 7, and this is the reason because they're just learning how to talk and be fluent and effectively enunciate their words. And lisps can actually arise in anybody. It does not affect any demographic. Will children outgrow a lisp? So most of them, they say disappears, but the learned behavior is already programmed in. So the lisp will always be there. It's just working on that and trying to rectify it. And then that being said, the older a child gets, it is harder to minimize that lisp or make it go away completely. So most children are aware of this, and they want to help. They want to help all the children. And if a child needs to see a speech therapist, this is definitely possible. This is kind of the last resort if children have a lisp to where they cannot be understood well. And if this happens, it definitely needs to be addressed because children can be embarrassed and feel outcast, which leads to depression and struggling with their academics. So quick research in history. Samuel Potter was the first that I found in my research in 1882, and he focused on repetition and enunciation. Edward Scripture in 1912 said that children were lazy when they were trying to talk. So he focused more on medications and procedures like electrotherapy. So basically medications that were given to hysteria patients or people who were over anxious, like the electrotherapy. In 1920, the Blantons said that children were coddled by their parents. It basically, if parents, were too overprotective for their children, they basically anticipated every move that the child was making. So they would actually speak for their child instead of letting the child talk. So they thought maybe that's where the lisp came from. Next, in 1955, Edna Young worked with Sarah Stitchfield as well, and they basically said that children don't have the proper motor skill involved. So what they wanted to do was grammar train and have children learn the meaning of the words. So at home, if your child has a lisp, record the child reading or talking and play it back to them so they can hear what they are reading, what they're saying. Also having children watch themselves in the mirror so they can see where their tongue is protruding or pushing out. Practice drinking from a straw. And then blowing bubbles actually focuses on their oral motor development as well. And then using a T sound rather than an S. So, like I mentioned, that therapists and teachers are definitely there. Teachers are great. My son's teacher has been amazing, and she focuses on the whole class, focusing on their lazy S's if they have them. Rather than individualizing a child and making them feel embarrassed that maybe they think that something is wrong. So it's been great. Therapists, like I said, kind of like the last resort, but basically everybody, repetition, listening to your child, and practice makes progress. And then praise your children. They love the reinforcement of good behavior. So with that, 70% of children did show major improvement with the therapy sessions. Be proactive. Get it, focus in on this early rather than later. And then knowing, looking at B.F. Skinner and John Piaget, learning the meaning of words and knowing that children do want to speak correctly. They want to make their parents happy and their teachers happy. So they want to do this. And then, like I said, reinforce good behavior. This was a quick video that I had of a kiddo that I told him I was doing this presentation. He has a slight lisp. However, when I recorded it, he focused in on not having that lisp. So I didn't know that he was going to do that. So I thought that it was, I still wanted to post it so you could see how he was focusing on trying to make his S's sound like true S's. And that is it. Thanks for listening.